What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Ramy. I'm coming at you with another video, and today we're continuing to talk about our lovely lass Alyssa Mercante, because this story started back in May when Alyssa Mercante threatened to start suing YouTubers and people on the internet talking ill about her because, well, she's a freak. Well, since then, just last week, we ended up having Alyssa Mercante accept legal counsel and proceeding to take legal action on different people on YouTube. Now, she is still being very vague about it, saying this in her initial tweet. It's been nearly 6 months since my Sweet Baby Inc. report and the start of the G&G harassment campaign. During this time, I've been gathering info on seeking advice from lawyers and can finally confirm that I'm moving forward with legal action against several parties for doxing, harassment, and defamation. I'm funding this myself, but we'll probably have to create a GoFundMe to help with expenses. Appreciate all of your support. Now, in a video that I did do last week, which will be more towards the end of the video when I actually pimp it out and might be able to be found down in the description down below, I went over this particular legal firm that she is getting and the people that she says is so wonderful and great in an entire case that legal firm went over last time. She's trying to insinuate that previous incident is the same as hers, which I do find hard to believe, because if it was that way, I would believe she would be posting receipts left, right, and center to just show how awful human beings are. Well, in this eternal quest to prove that she is the righteous good one, her law firm has decided to come out and lay a target down right away. Lawyer representing Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante threatens Kiwi Farms with litigation. First off the bat, not a huge fan of Kiwi Farms, I can safely say that. That being said, I acknowledge what they are there for. I acknowledge what they do. Do I like it all the times? No, but do I use them as a resource for some of my content from time to time? Actually, yes, I do. There are pros and cons to Kiwi Farms, and the easiest way to handle the Kiwi Farms is basically just acknowledge they exist and move on. Do not go to war with the farms always wins. That is the long and short of my TED Talk. Thank you for showing up. But we have seen Alyssa Mercante now take the position, as so many a lolcow have before her, as going after the farms. Honey, why did you do this? Why do you think that this is a good idea and this is a winning strategy? I just gotta say, never, ever, ever antagonize the farms, go after the farms. It is always a bad idea and will always lead to you losing. The farms has not lost once. But we could come over here to X, into the official Kiwi Farms account, and we could see that yes, they indeed were served legal papers. Alyssa Mercante at Alyssa Mercante threatens Kiwi Farms with litigation, and the best part about it is Kiwi Farms did in fact link to the Kiwi Farms. I ain't gonna click on it because there are some things on this thread that I cannot show on YouTube, but let's be clear, Alyssa just gave them the greatest amount of marketing that they could ever receive. But we'll go through some of these legal papers because it's already so catty from the get-go. You can see the initial header, you can scroll down here, and you can see your client's threat to tortuously invade Alyssa Mercante's privacy. Oh, what is this though? Matthew, we are writing to your concerning your client Joshua Moon and his website Kiwi Farms. There is currently a thread on Kiwi Farms in the non-public prospering grounds section of the forum, posting a full dox of our client Alyssa Mercante. Full stop. Doxing, not good. It is a bad idea. Do not dox. Do not ever support doxing. I will never, ever, 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 ever support doxing of any form. That being said, yes, doxing is legal. That is the biggest issue when it comes to doxing. It is a legal thing. It is just wrong to do. It is frowned upon, and it is one of the unspoken rules of the internet. Do not dox. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's continue on. As you may otherwise not be aware, Alyssa has hired us to pursue remedies both in and out of court against people who are seriously stalking and harassing her online. Joshua Moon and Kiwi Farms are not among those people we are pursuing, but we came across this thread in our research. But for the fact that it hosts a dox, the thread would be otherwise innocuous, annoying, and upsetting in tone, but well within the bounds of the law. However, by hosting the docs, Kiwi Farms provides an avenue for bad actors to get within the shield of Alyssa's privacy and turn being mean online into genuine threats to her privacy and person that we cannot permit. Now, for those of you who are unaware of how the farms interacts, they are an absolute free speech platform. They allow a bunch of crazy stuff on there, except for like pedo shite and stuff of that nature. That being said, they do have a very, very, very strong position in which you do not touch the cow. You might be allowed to, post the information that other people find deplorable, but just posting the information does not give you credence to go any further. If they find out that you have gone further and have decided to touch the cow, you will be banned from the farms outright. Those are the rules of the farms. And there has been many cases of individuals coming after the farms due to doxing information being on the farms, and it never works out very well for the people who are going after the farms. The thread in question violates the laws in various states and jurisdictions. It constitutes a violation of, I believe, Florida state. I'm not even going to go through this. The courts have recognized this kind of malicious doxing as giving rise to liability as well. We recommend Gersh v. Align, more technical speech, for how things we think as protected speech might give rise to civil liability. Further, the thread in question and Kiwi Farms hardware continues to post Miss Mercante's videos, which is an infringement upon her intellectual property rights. Kiwi Farms has no DMCA safe harbor. Furthermore, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act offers no respite to Joshua promoting any threads out of Kiwi Farms proper. See blah blah Kiwi Farms thread. Please note that the thread requires a Kiwi Farms login to view and has multiple pages. We trust that we will be able to procure login credentials for yourself, given your relation with Mr. Moon. Oh, wait a minute. You said something right there. In order to access some of this data, you have to have, a Kiwi Farms login. You have to be a member of Kiwi Farms. So already some of this information is locked and not able to be seen by the general public. But furthermore, there has been other instances of DMCA takedowns and people freaking out over all sorts of stuff being on Kiwi Farms before. And every time the farms usually wins those cases. It is a insane situation over on the farms. The farms is a battleground that nobody really wants to step in, and taking legal action against the farms, it's always just been a bad move. Okay, many a locale have tried it, and many a locale have failed. But take note of something. They point out Section 230 of the Decency Act. For those of you who are unaware of how Section 230 actually works, it actually gives Josh a whole lot more defenses in this whole situation, because all he has to say is he's not a publisher. He's a provider, and he can't decide what goes on there. That's actually how Section 230 works. It gives him the protections and allows him to basically say, I'm not publishing this. I'm not choosing to be a part of this. And it just goes on here. Outside of that, I have no control. That's actually how Section 230 works. That's actually how it's supposed to be used in the grand scheme of things. It's an entire thing that isn't actually an avenue of attack that Alyssa could be using here. It's more of a defense that Joshua Moon can actually put up and more than likely win on all this. But this whole thing goes on. Requires affirmative staff action, which obviates the site's Section 230 protections. See FTC, blah, 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 more technical. Holding that where a website solicits and collects confidential information specifically for the purpose of publishing that information, i.e. docs, then that website is not entitled to Section 230 immunity. That's the key there, though. I might just be a dum-dum on the internet, but a lot of dum-dums on the internet actually knows how Section 230 works. Joshua Moon isn't the publisher. Publishing is a completely different thing. This is a forum. This is a use. This is a technical use. Whatever goes on there goes on there. That's how Section 230 works. You can either be a forum or a publisher. If you take the publisher route, you are the one that is liable for all this. But in this case, he doesn't take that route. He takes the forum route, which means he has no liability in what actually gets said there. That's how Section 230 is actually supposed to be used, and it actually gives protections to Joshua Moons based on what is actually said there. To repeat, Mr. Moon is not currently in our crosshairs. And if this thread removes the docs and never leaves the non-public portion of Kiwi Farms forums, then there will be no reason for us to give Mr. Moon the time of day. Well, why are you giving it the time of day right now? It's not in the public forums. It is in the private forums that requires a login information. Interesting how that all works out. Our concerns is not with policing the internet activity of a single person or even a whole forum, but in protecting the security and rights of our clients. The less Kiwi Farms puts our clients in danger or permitting others to utilize information provided by Kiwi Farms to continue campaign of harassment, stalking, and international infliction of emotional distress, the less we will have to get involved in Joshua Moon's business. Basically, they're saying, take it down or we're going to start suing you. Again, many of people have tried, many of people have failed. Don't go up against the farms. Again, our sole concern here is Alyssa's well-being, and this threatens the well-being if it is released in its current form. As modified, and if it stays private, then we do not believe that it represents a serious threat and may safely be ignored. It would be in your client's interest to keep it that way. But it is private right now, so then why are you writing this at all? Oh, because you're trying to get them to remove it. Don't do that to the farms. Never do that to the farms. The farms always wins. I don't know how many times I can repeat that before people start understanding. Don't go after the farms. Ignore them. Let them do their own thing in their little corner of the farms. Don't publicize them. Don't acknowledge them. Let them just exist. The more you just let them exist, the less likely they are to come after you. The moment you do stupid stuff like this, Alyssa, the moment you go around doing things like this, you publicize it, you acknowledge it, and people then go searching out for it. The farms are undefeated. Fighting the farms is a bad idea. We look forward to hearing back from you within 30 days with news that Josh has complied with this demand without amendment or complaint. If he does so, this will conclude the matter, and this firm will go back to its usual policy of trying to think about Joshua Moon and Kiwi Farms as little as humanly possible. If he fails to heed this friendly warning, we will be forced to change our policy. It is rare for someone to have such control over their own fate. Please advise Mr. Moon to make the most of it. If you have further questions or wish to speak with us directly, please contact me by email at yoda. Not gonna continue that stuff. But you can see it here, okay? This was a dumb move. Because I could point over here. All of this basically says, listen, that docs exists, but it's protected right now. In order to see it, you have to have a Kiwi Farms account. And we wanted to get it, but here, we want you to know that it should stay as a Kiwi Farms protected account, if not removed altogether. But we're not trying to get you to remove it, okay? But we're saying it would be better if you remove it right now. Don't do this! This whole thing just antagonized the farms. This whole move right here. Alyssa, your lawyers, everybody involved, everything you just did antagonized the farms. And lets people know that the farms exist and this information is out there. You just screwed up royally. There's been countless people that have gone to war against the farms. Countless people, weirdos, freaks galore have gone up against the farms, and every single time they lose. Why would you do this? Why would you make this a good idea? And the link's right there. Honey, why? Why? This is the dumbest move possible. You have literally, without any stretch of the word, put the largest target on your back. Now you are one of the largest enemies of the farms itself. Before they were just writing about you. And the fact that you know about the farms means that you were reading your thread the entire time, which is in itself a bad idea. But furthermore, now that they know that it's bothering you, they're just gonna do it more. The farms is a chaotic cesspit of existence. I don't mind that it exists. I'm not a fan of it. I don't mind that it exists. I try to stay away from it. It's a bad idea. Don't fight the farms. Fighting the farms is bad. You will lose. And all I see is Alyssa. Alyssa, you're antagonizing them. You're trying to go after them. And at the end of the day, if you're just going after Smash JT, if you're going after all these other people that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, you would have lost. But now you're going to lose on a monumental position. And you're going to be made fun of the entire time. Why would you do this? This makes no sense, except for one reason. She has to always have the center of attention on her, to the point that she's reading her own farms thread. That's the only thing that makes sense. She knew about the farms thread. She knew about Kiwi Farms. She's been reading her own thread, and that's what's made her go insane. Don't do it. Never do it. Bad ideas galore. And now I'm gonna sit here, watch it, and laugh the entire time, because honey, you ain't gonna get what you want out of this one, and you're gonna get treated far worse than all the other people you thought were treating you worse. Welcome to the Thunderdome, baby. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, share it up, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.